everybody!
Ayan, happy Thursday!
Happy Thursday, ladies! Kamusta?
Yes. Okay lang. Happy 9-9 day to everyone. Kamusta naman
Ay,
kayo?
nako.
Add to
Huwag mo nang
cart.
banggitin. Maraming wallet ang umiiyak ngayon.
Safe naman ako. I'm happy to say na safe ako today. So, hello.
Di ba
Kaway-kaway
meron
sa
yan?
mga safe plan.
Mark yourself safe from the 9-9 sale. Diba?
Yes.
Pero marami na tayong nanonood. Oh, it looks like it. Tama ba? Ilan na ba ang ano natin? Oh, yan.
I'm seeing 30 plus sa community.
36 and 36 on both. Oh, diba?
37, yeah, yeah.
Oo.
Yan.
Wait lang, I'm seeing someone. Hi, Sean. Sabi niya, hello, I'm new here. Just joined this September. Oh, hello, Sean. Thank you for
Hello,
joining
Sean.
us tonight.
Yeah. Parang Hilaire. We're not even sure if Sean speaks Tagalog. Let us know, Sean, kung ikaw ba ay Pilipino or otherwise. Okay. Yan, kumakaway si Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Let's say hi muna dito sa mga nandito na si Joe's Journey. Sino to?
Wow.
Oh, diba?
Parang parang song, title ng
Oo
song.
nga eh.
Learning.
Oh, hello from Quezon City daw si Sean.
From Quezon
Ha
City.
ha ha.
So nagtatagalog ka, Sean. Tama ba? Let us know, ha?
Sige, antayin natin yung response niya.
Sa page, we've got si Ira, Raquel, Pabalete. Hi Poop, sabi ni Sheila. Ba't hi Poop?
May poop.
Yan.
Hi po.
Hi
Uy,
po. Kasi,
nagkakatuwaan lang tayo
Huwag mahaba kasi hi Poop.
Ay, si Fiona, kaka-join ko lang po today. Hello, Fiona.
Asan?
Welcome.
Ayun, okay. Welcome
Fiona.
to Fiona. Lagi daw na pagkakamalan siya. Okay, kasi nga naman yung last name mo lalo na, di ba?
Hilaire.
Sino
Let's
pa
give
nandito?
some hearts, guys. Cares.
Bagal ko eh.
commentation.
DJ, hello daw from Mindanao. Christine Castillo is here as well.
Uy, may gabi idihat.
Mayang gabi sa inyong tanan.
Ayang gabi sa
Jean.
inyong tanan.
Oh, si
Yes.
Jean din daw. First timer din daw siya. Oh, ang dami yata natin mga first timer dito.
Wait. Greetings pa lang tayo. May question agad.
May
Hi,
question
Jehan.
agad, oo.
Very good,
Okay
very
na.
good yan.
No problem, Jehan. Jehan, since you asked a question, abangan mo. Si Direk will reach out to you. Mamaya imbitahan ka namin dito sa Zoom so that you can ask your question live. Okay, doon lalo na sa mga guests natin for this week. Speaking of which, it looks like we should be ready by now.
Yep.
Pasok na natin yung guest natin. Charms?
Aba,
Ana?
syempre. Sige, I'd like to introduce to you our guest for tonight. Actually, both of them are agency owners. So guys, I strongly suggest itag nyo na yung mga friends nyo kasi pataasin natin yung numbers because we can learn a lot from our guest tonight. So first one is a managing partner at Agency Rocket Fuel. Wow. Ganda, diba? And a founder and managing director at Augment Digital. So later on, tanong natin kung bakit yun yung mga pangalan ng mga businesses nila. And then the other one naman is an online business consultant at Streamline Your Business with Toot. Blank muna natin para hindi mag-giveaway yung pangalan. Founder and CEO at Connected by Humans and founder and CEO at JB and Associates PH and community owner of LinkedIn Marketing Mastermind Philippines. So wow, grabe. Parang ang dami-dami nilang ginagawa sa buhay.
Yes. Ayan. Let's call them up.
Yep. So our first guest for tonight is Reynard, and we also have Miss John with us. So hello po. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening sa inyong dalawa. How are you guys today? Kumusta?
Great. Busog.
Good. Great. Hindi ba kulang sa tulog, Miss Jan?
Sir. Hindi
Hindi ko alam.
sumagot.
Okay. Nice. Well, welcome sa inyong dalawa. We're happy to have you, first of all, dito sa isang session natin ng Tribe Tambayan. And as you all know, dito sa Tribe Tambayan, what we talk about is anything and everything that has to do with freelancing. We'll get some good insights from our two guests this evening. Ang maganda nito, because they have been in the freelancing game for quite some time. Naabot na nila yung point where, they are running agencies. They have, ito nga, dalawa or more na yung pinapatakbo nilang mga or organizations, ika nga. So we'll get some really good insights on siguro, particularly people who might be at a stage where they're trying to scale their businesses as well, or maybe looking to scale and create an agency. So for those of you watching who may be at that stage, ito yung episode for you. You can ask questions, pero not to alienate everybody else, whether you're starting out, whether you haven't even started sa freelancing. Syempre, dinaanan na rin nila yon. So, I'm sure they have some valuable insights that they can share with us as well. Okay? So, habang meron actually may maaga na nagtanong no, mamaya.
Yes,
Pero we'll try to invite. Tama ba direct? Inaano na natin? Tinatry na nating kunin si Jehan dito. Okay, nice. In the meantime, okay, habang nag-aantay tayo kay Jehan, kamustahin lang natin muna. First, si Reynard. Reynard, if you guys don't know, has been part of the tribe since day one as well. Tama ba ako, bro?
Yes, I have.
Since day one, 2018, some 30 years ago, and then 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. And you were one of the first few who started learning freelancing the way John was teaching it during that time. Saan mo ba nakita? How did you find out about John and the tribe?
I think I learned about John through Julian Kanita. I think we got connected through an FB ads group. Julian, we talked a bit, and I saw Julian recommend the tribe. I think that was how Julian or Junji, one of them. it was FB ads, because what we do is Facebook ads, and that's how I got connected into the Filipino freelancing world. Because I've been freelancing a few years before that. But I was very amazed to see that how John was building out the tribe early on. So yeah, that's why I decided to join. So that's how I found John.
I see. Pero prior to meeting John in the tribe, you said you were doing freelancing na. What were you focused on initially nung nag-umpisa ka?
Yeah, so I started when I was in college part-time. So third year, I was taking up engineering. I had to find money, as everyone does early on, fund studies and stuff. So actually, I started as, I would say it's like a VA kind of role. I was doing everything in a marketing agency. Back then, Infusionsoft was very popular. I know there was a question about email marketer versus social. So Infusionsoft is an email marketing software. So I remember I was so happy to get that first client from Upwork, and he basically just paid me like $50 a week at that time. That was a very big win for me, for someone in college. So that's where I started. It was just doing anything and everything he told me to do. And luckily, I came across Facebook ads with one of the clients, and that's where I started to learn. This was 2016 Facebook ads, where everything was still a bit new. And yeah, that's where I started learning ads, and I really enjoyed it. So I tried to find other clients in that space, and it just grew and grew until I graduated and I decided to start the agency. So that's the short version.
Nice.
Yeah.
Miss Jan, ikaw naman, sorry. There's an very odd silence there. Ewan ko, may delay yung internet or ano. No, I think there was a bit of a delay. Anyway, Miss Jan, how about you? I know you weren't part of the first batch of tribe mates or tribe members. When did you learn about the tribe? When did you learn about John and his way of freelancing?
Nakita ko yung ad ni John, ni Chief sa Facebook, yung gilid, 'di ba meron doon parang suggested na ads, something. Doon ko lang siya nakita. Tapos na-curious ako kasi yung video niya, baliktad, naka-rotate. Tapos kailangan kong, alam mo yun, yung kailangan kong gumanon. Sabi ko, ang weird nitong video na to. So yun yung time na nakinlik ko siya, tapos pinakinggan ko na and all that. So doon ko siya nakilala. Then I joined the tribe 2018 lang, batch 3 ako. Yun. But yeah, like Reynard, before or prior to joining the tribe, I have been freelancing since 2010. Odesk pa siya noon, ngayon Upwork na siya. Tapos halo-halo na yon, sinabay ko siya sa corporate, sinabay ko siya sa online freelancing, nagte-theater pa ako noon, nagfi-film pa ako, sinasabay-sabay ko siya dati.
Talaga naman, ano?
Yes. Tapos ayun, hanggang sa nag-evolve agency and stuff.
Nice. Okay.
Cool.
So kung 2010, sabay ganun kinakalculate yung edad mo ng konti
Wag na pagmat. Ano ba?
Okay. Alright. No problem. Direct, na-invite ba natin? Sorry, Ana. Na-invite ba natin yung yung unang nagtanong? If not yet, Ana, go ahead if you have questions.
Ayan. I have a question lang para lang mas makilala ng audience natin yung ating guests. So just so they also know what questions to ask, diba? If they have any questions in mind. Siguro let's give our audience a bit of a background kung your market, ganyan, your skill, or any freelancing background that you'd want to share sa ating mga audience that you think would be helpful for them to get to know you. Ayan.
Sure.
Let's start with TL Jan.
Sige, ako na daw. Sige, so I started sa UDES, data entry work lang talaga siya. Kasi at that time, I was exploring. Ano ba tong meron sa online? Ano bang meron? Ganyan. So I was just testing stuff online. Tapos yung una kong natrabaho is just moving or copy yung mga naka-PDF. I will have to convert it to a Word document. Hindi pa uso yung mga tools dati na to convert ganyan, di ba? Wala pang ganun nung panahon na yun. So you have to manually type yung mga nasa PDF. So that's $1 per hour. That's $1. I started $1 per hour, ganyan. And then I moved into editing ng videos, photos na, alam mo yun, hindi ako marunong So I'm always talagang exploring. That's how I started. And then when I, parang nung may nag-hire sa akin about LinkedIn lead generation, agency sila sa Philippines, doon nag-start yung curiosity ko ng finding people, connecting different people. Doon nag-start yung ko na parang, parang interesting to ganyan. Yun, doon ako nag-lead generation, tapos habang nagli-lead generation ako doon sa platform na yun, sa freelance platform na yun, dahil nga addict ako, pinagsasabay-sabay ko nga sila. Yung corporate client ko sa call center, e-commerce naman siya. So I was learning e-commerce on the side, and bago ako matulog, I was doing lead generation online. So ganun ko siya sinasabay. And then eventually, I was able to choose kung saan ako masaya, ano ba talaga yung work na kahit pumetics ako, nakakatulong ako sa client and stuff like that. Napili ko yung lead generation among the two of the skills, ganyan. So yun, hanggang sa na-curious na naman ako. Aligaga ako Pag natutunan ko na yung isang bagay, gusto ko may bago akong pag-aralan. So, doon naman ako nag-start exploring on different skills na naman, ibang courses, ibang programs. So, yun. Hanggang halo-halo na yung nasa utak ko. Sabi ko, ayoko na, sasabog na ako, turo ko na sa iba. That's why I started training, I started building agencies, training freelancers. Yun. Ganun na. Ganun na. Yan.
Cool. Kayo po, Reynard.
So yeah, like I mentioned, I started with VA work, similar, just copy pasting stuff into Infusionsoft, emails written on Google Doc, putting it in there. Over time, I learned how to build automation, suggesting how to streamline onboarding for that agency, and then I ran into Facebook ads with one of the clients. I did very poorly the first time, it was very bad, but I enjoyed the process, seeing how you have control over getting people to click on an ad, convert. So after that, I worked in another agency, and I helped them start their advertising department. So I grew with them for the next 2 years, and ever since then I've just been doing Facebook ads actually. So that's my core I would say skill. In terms of clients, it's different industries. As long as they need Facebook ads, we can help them. But more recently, most of our clients are e-commerce. It's been growing pretty well. Then the second business I started as the Augment Digital, which is the agency, grew, is Agency Rocket Fuel. I started with my business partner Fran, because people started asking me how did we grow the agency? How why is it so streamlined, and what are the systems? And I come from a very organized background. I would say I'm very systems focused. So we started teaching others as well, and people liked it, I guess. And yeah, now we have there's a separate business where we help agencies systematize their business and scale it up, like a online business manager kind of thing, but yeah, that's what we do there. So those are the two primary skills and markets we serve with those two businesses. Yeah.
Cool. So talaga, no, when you're starting your freelance journey, kung ano yung simulan mo, not necessarily dun ka na mag-stick talaga na it's really a wide ocean bag, ganun. Wide ocean. Ayan, guys. So dun sa ating mga viewers, so we have a really good background on our guests right now. So if you have any questions in mind na bumabagabag sa inyong utak, go ahead and comment those in the comment section, and we'll invite you to come up here with us to ask those questions personally, di ba?
Yes. And you can get the insights of our two agency owners. And if you notice, sa freelancing, talagang there's a success ladder, no? They started with this lang, and then eventually, yung sa demand ng mga clients nila, it opened opportunities for them. And look at where they are now. Wow, hindi lang, not one, but two and more ang hinahanda nila. And they're able to help other people. And look at where they... Ayan. Actually, wait lang, i-share ko lang pala sa inyo. Bigla ko naalala, last week, nung, di ba, we're here naman every other Thursday. An ex-office mate of mine messaged me. Sabi niya, nakita daw niya ako dito. So, nagulat ako kasi, uy, ang liit ng mundo, di ba? As in, unexpected na nakita niya ako, tapos he messaged me. Tapos sabi niya, nagdadalawang isip daw siya kasi, you know, the cost and all, baka hindi daw kayanin. Sabi ko, edi wag muna, try mo lang muna. So kung hindi pa perfect timing sa'yo, just continue on listening muna to our sessions and go to our guides, and I'm pretty sure na with those, you can start already. And nahihiya daw siya magtanong. So if you're one of those people na nahihiya magtanong, guys, pwede kayong mag-comment, pwede kayong mag-comment na lang dyan. And then if we still have time, we will answer those questions for you. But better talaga if you will find the opportunity or the time to join us, kasi ito na yung venue para masagot lahat ng mga questions niyo.
Right, exactly. And just to add to that, while we're waiting for yung mga magtatanong nga sa atin live, the community in particular is such a good place for you to ask questions. We encourage you guys to ask questions there. Ang kagandahan sa community is you get mixed together with tribe members. Actually, a lot of the tribe members, which is our paid program, yung flagship program natin, yung tribe, they actually are part of the community as well. So, pag may tanong kayo dyan, nadadamay din of course yung community when it comes to people answering questions. And kami in particular, like some of us who do the work in the community, we every now and then we jump in, we try to answer some of the questions that you have. So ayun nga, kagana sabi ni Charms, don't be embarrassed to ask any questions. We'll be happy to answer all of them for you. And it doesn't matter kung feeling nyo pang bagong question lang siya, pang agency owner, pwedeng sumagot to si Jan tsaka si Reynard sa mga tanong nyo kung available sila. Anyway, Direk, any update dun sa natin, antay natin, or maybe we could just ask the question here? Okay. Sige. Pang matagal, no? But siguro we'll just jump into that question. Although medyo kulang sa context, I feel. Pero let's ask it anyway. Sabi ni Jayhan Makapundag. Okay, which one is best sa opinion lang ninyo po? Email marketer or social media marketer? TL Jan tsaka Reynard, bahala na kayo maglagay ng context. Kahit anong klaseng context yung gusto nyo ilagay dito. Okay? Reynard, you wanna answer first?
Thank you. Okay. So what's better? I think this is something taught in the tribe, right? I think I would say whatever gets, well, first, whatever you enjoy better, or whatever you have existing skill, there's always demand for it, right? So you can go that way. And of course, for example, for me, when I started speaking from personal experiences, I did whatever was given to me just so I could get my foot in the door and I can get experience, and doors will open other doors. So like for me, like I said, I started just copy pasting stuff similar to Jan here. Then and then later it became email. I went into email a bit with Infusionsoft. I started writing the emails myself on top of building the automation. Then I moved to ads, and I've stuck there ever since. Thankfully, I found something that I really enjoy. So if you'd ask me between two, it's very tough without context. I don't know what your background is, what you want. But whatever is right in front of you, whichever is the opportunity in front of you, I'd take. If you have two of them in front of you right now, that's very good. You're in a great position that a lot of people would love to be in. So pick whichever you feel is most aligned with what you already know. Then you can always explore other things over time, right? So that's what I would say with little context on the question.
Grabe no, wala pang context yun yung sagot niyang yun. Oh.
Drop mic na ako, di ko na alam
Oo
sasagot.
nga Hindi, kailangan sumagot ka. Mama
Ang ganda
Chan.
to, parang
Oo.
battle ng, parang
Battle of the brains to no?
Oo.
Battle of agency owners.
No.
Mama Chan, ikaw, what's your answer to the question?
Yeah. Actually, ang ganda nung insights ni Reynard because nandun yung nasaan ka, like anong stage ka ngayon, 'di ba? Saan yung mas interesado ka? Alin dun yung mas interesado kang gawin? Nasabi din niya yung explorative side. Kasi talaga kapag nagsa-start tayo, one of the things na naituro ko before sa mga freelancers is like there is this stage na wala kang choice kundi mag-explore muna. Just get what's in there, gaya ng sabi ni Reynard kanina. Eventually, ikaw yung makakapili ng saan ka palagay na loob, saan ka masaya, alin dun yung mas madali sa'yo. May term nga ako na parang, alin dito sa dalawa yung kahit nakapikit ka, kaya mo siyang ituro sa iba. 'Di ba? Yung kaya mong ituro sa iba, kaya mong ipagawa sa iba, o kaya mong gawin na nakapikit ka or something. Kapag naramdaman mo na yun sa isang skill, stick to that muna. Stick to that. And then pag siguro kagaya ko, aligaga ka or ADHD, whatever, di ba? Nakaka-mag-hop pag nagsawa ka na doon and stuff like that. Pero again, it takes time. It takes time. So email marketing, social media marketing, more right now, if I'm currently speaking at the rate we're going right now, halos magkasama yung skill na yan. And you would be able to fully maximize your potential if you know how to do emails, at the same time, manage and explore the social media for the client. Kung kaya mong gawin sabay, why not? Choknat, diba? But again, follow muna saan ka mas masaya. Yorn. With
I'll throw a curveball sa inyong dalawa. Kasi nga, medyo kulang sa context yung question, no? Pero let's assume the person asking does not have the luxury of exploration at this point. Kumbaga, he has to jump into freelancing. Kailangan na kasi naapektuhan ng pandemic yung business or whatever, lost their job. I'm sure a lot of people are in that boat right now. Knowing what you know now from the years of experience of doing freelance work, what would be your recommendation as far as yun nga, ipong foot in the door pero at the same time they can quickly progress into turning this into a full-time opportunity for them?
Sino gusto mo tituran? Mag-start.
Kahit sino sa inyo, di ba?
Sige, siguro in my case, if nandun ka sa survival stage, from Coach Mark ito, Inside the Tribe, diba? The 4S stages. You're on the survival stage. If you need money now, and you are given two good opportunities between the email marketing offer or the social media marketing, kailangan mo na talaga ng pera. Again, babalik ako, saan ba dun, kahit wala ka pang background, right? Saan ba dun yung kapag inumpisahan mong pag-aralan, okay ka, hindi ka stress, hindi ka na nakakatulog, pinipimples ka na sa kakaisip ng nagagawin. Alam mo yun, alin doon yung mas, ikaw lang kasi makakasagot nun eh. Like, whatever situation you are now, go with what you think is more comfortable for you at that stage, na wala ka pang skills, jump on it, learn while doing it, tsaka mo ngayon isipin yung future na gagawin ko ba tong long time, full time, next time na yon, just try it now, just hop on it. For me, that's
nice.
what I'm gonna do.
Ganda.
Thank you,
Very
Miss Jan.
realistic
Yes.
lang.
Right.
Yeah.
Reina, do you want to add to that?
Copy paste. I think the only thing I'll add is that some people might think it's perfect. Like, some people might think they have to get everything in the future figured out. But yeah, I think that's a perfect way to understand, like, example, if two opportunities are in front of you and you need to decide and you're in a survival stage and you can't choose both, because the ideal if you're surviving, you choose both. I think everyone will agree. Is like Ms. Jan said, like find the resources to try to study it. I'm sure there's a lot in this community, or even just searching YouTube, like search email marketing 101, search social media marketing 101. Which one puts you to sleep first? You don't do it. So which one you enjoy, go for it, right? So I think that's a good way to go about it.
Yeah,
Cool.
one more
Thank
thing,
you.
Tito Ron. Sorry to interrupt. That's one factor, di ba? Your gut, what you're feeling. That's the first factor. Second factor for me is your time. If you're someone single and all that, no, ang dami mong oras sa buong mundo, di ba? Na you have all this time in the world to learn or to do multiple work, go ahead, go do it, di ba? Just do both if yun yung nasa harapan mo. But if you're a family man or di ba, if you're a single parent and stuff, and you have this need to have the money now and the urge to freelance, pick one. Yung term ko naman is pick one and run. Just pick one and run. Bahala ka na. Nandun ka na di ba? Just do it. Ganun lang.
Right. Cool.
Nike.
We have we finally have two people inside the Zoom with us. Sino yung una natin pwede? Ana, sino yung unahin natin sa kanila? Who
Yeah.
came in first?
Actually, si Paylin.
Kaylin.
Although,
Kaylin.
he, is it a he or, wait lang sorry, hindi wala kasing picture.
Surprise! Gender reveal.
Gender reveal. Although Paylin said, sabi niya makikinig daw muna siya, tapos magtatanong siya later, so wala pa siyang
Okay.
question. But, Paylin is here to listen to us, di ba? So let's call Renzi first. Alam ko Renzi has already a question in mind. So, hi Renzi!
Sure. Renzi, hello.
Yeah, are we pronouncing it correctly? Renzi?
Renzi.
Renzai?
Renzai. Oh.
You
Renzi, are you
there?
there? Can you hear us? Oh, mukhang walang audio, or I don't think Renzi can hear us. Si Paylin. Ayan na siya. Okay.
We still can't see you, but nakita
Renzi,
namin
can
na
you turn on your
na.
camera para makita ka namin?
Sige, wait lang.
So that the audience can see you as well. Oh, di ba?
There.
Hello!
Kamusta, Renzi?
Nice to see you.
Hello.
Go ahead and ask your question, Renzi.
Yun po. Bali yung question ko is, meron ba kayong any tips for dun sa Upwork? Kasi nag-try akong maggawa ng Upwork, and then like 2 times na siyang na-decline sa approval. I don't know why. Lahat naman kasi ng previous job ko, pati yung description and lahat nakalagay na doon. Hindi ko lang ba't na-disapprove pa rin siya up until now.
Hey, Upwork tips.
Yeah, I have a few. But it's been a while since I been joined Upwork. So I don't know, but I've helped a few people recently. But I would say the latest techniques, that was maybe 2 years ago that I last helped someone, or a year ago, is choose. I think when you join, it asks you what skills you want to use, right? Am I right? I remember that. When you sign up for an account.
Yeah, I think you have to list it down yata. Parang yun.
Yeah.
So
So my technique that at least worked back then is choose skills, because you can always change it after you end. Choose skills that are literally unknown. So like 3D modeling, CAD, AI, things like that, because you're not gonna get rejected, because very few freelancers choose that. This is what worked before. I don't know anymore now. But then usually, because they base it off like the volume of freelancers they have in that certain category, even in location, I think. So if they see that there's a lot of Filipinos where you do copywriting, usually if you try copy, you're not going to get accepted because it's like full or something. So what worked before for the few people I helped before was you choose some random skill that is unknown, like 3D modeling, AI, I don't remember. Just try to look block now. A lot of people do blockchain now. So yeah, that's what I would say. Then when you get in, you can always change it. So change it to whatever you actually do. Then you should be good. So that's what I used to do. I'm not sure if that's changed. If anyone can tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, so that's
Para
what
tong
worked for me.
Sorry, naalala ko tuloy. When I back in high school, after finishing, wala pang senior high kasi nung panahon ko eh. So 4th year high school, you try to get into a university, and there are quota courses.
Quota course and non-quota. Sakto.
So if you can't pass the quota courses, you try to get in with the
Non-quota.
non-quota, tapos
Uh-huh.
you try to shift once you're inside. So parang, I don't know, is that kind of tricking the system to get in? Parang gano'n?
Yeah, but they don't know. I've never ran into problems because like it's very illegal, I guess. It's like
Right.
they're not gonna. It's very possible that someone would shift skills as a freelancer over time.
Exactly.
So I haven't seen any problems with that. And
Cool.
I've gotten a
O,
few
diba?
people in. Yeah.
Parang Mission Impossible style freelancing technique yung tinuro sa'yo ni Reynard.
Galing,
Yeah.
suave. And I saw Miss Chen saying this.
Yeah.
Agree siya.
Kasi totoo yun eh. Maliban sa... Kasi madiskarte tayo eh. Like, if you really want to get something, you have to think out of the box. And that way of thinking of Reynard is actually out of the box. You're trying to get a skill na hindi pa common sa iba. Para lang makapasok ka muna. And then change it when you're there. Another advice for me is, once makapili ka na nung kakaibang skill, di ba, just to get in, make sure all the fields are filled out. Everything from your photo to the profile to the tabs, whatever. Kung ano man hinihingi ni Upwork ngayon, hindi na rin ako nasa Upwork eh. But fill them out every page, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yun lang. Yung mga,
Can I add to that then? Mga ano, okay lang ba, Renzi? Okay lang ba magdagdag ako chance?
Lahat. Pakinggan ko.
Kasi I'm not really from Upwork talaga. Parang I started freelancing, just searching for clients here on Facebook. But recently, I tried signing up for Upwork and I searched mga ways kung paano nga ma-approve agad. And then, ang nakita ko is ang kailangan is ma-fill out mo lahat as much as possible nga, like sabi ni TL Jan. And then, with the skills, i-maximize mo yun. Like, I think you're given 10 to 15 skills. 10,
Yeah.
no?
Like
Wag mo,
15, I think. I don't know.
15, yeah. I think 15. Wag mong gawing 8, wag mong gawing 9, gawing mong 15. Isagad mo. Isagad mo
Okay.
lahat. Kasi parang you're showing them that you have a great value as a freelancer. Tapos yun, so I did that. Just fill up everything. Be honest with them with your work experience. Huwag kang mag-leave ng blank. And then also, maximize mo yung mga skills na nakalagay doon and what you could do, what you could offer. Huwag kang mag-leave ng kahit anong space for blank as much as possible. And then I did it. I recently signed up for Upwork. I just tried signing up for them. And then ayun, my profile got approved in less than a day.
Sana all.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
diba?
Nice.
Hindi na sana all, Renzi, kasi binigay na sa'yo yung tips eh.
Yeah.
It's
Sana
in
all.
na.
If I may add, siguro yung ano din, kasi I never done freelancing before.
Mhm.
2 years, ang latest kong job before is from call center, BPO for 2 years, 2.5 years. So I think, wala din kasi akong skill dun sa mga like video editing, CAD or anything. Talagang sa customer service lang. Pero gusto ko kasing matry yung, freelancing.
Yeah, put in, maliban sa customer service background mo, kasi I came from call center. Nung nag-set up ako ng Upwork na Odesk pa noon, yun lang din yung alam ko, call center. But what I did to fill out nga all the gaps, all the application requirement ng Upwork was, alin pa yung gusto kong matutunan. So like what you said, you want to learn something in freelancing, add that up on a skill. Hindi naman kasi malalaman ng algorithm ni Upwork kung totoo bang alam mo na yung skill na yun o hindi pa eh. Diba? So what's important is you just fill them up. Pati yung mga cloud, diba right now they have the cloud tags, whatever. Fill them out, lagay mo lang. Hindi naman tayo i-interviewin na totoo ba to, wala namang ganun kaya may yata kay Upwork. Unless nagbago na siya ngayon, diba? But yun. Lagay ka lang.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yun.
Ayan. So nakita ko yung smile ni Ren.
Yes. Hope we were able to help you, Renzi. Do you have any other follow-up question?
I think that's all. Thank you very much sa lahat.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for coming up,
Renzi.
Renzi.
You too.
Alright.
Glad to have you here. Sinong next natin? Oh, before pala, Charms, you wanna say something before we Take the
Yes.
next guest natin or the next one to
Wow,
ask
actually,
question.
very timing kasi may nagme-message sa akin how to join the tribe daw. So, isa hang sabihan na lang. So, guys, if you have any questions or you want to know more about what the tribe is, what it has to offer, all you have to do is type the word tribe. That's TRIBE dyan sa ating chat box, sa ating comment box. And one of our success managers will reach out to you. So, libre pong magtanong. Maniwala po tayo kay Lola Flora. Huwag mahihiyang magtanong. So, again,
Yeah, and
type
I want to add
tribe.
na rin, Charms, ha? Kasi somebody asked earlier kung kailan daw mag-open yung tribe.
Oh yeah, sa comment
So,
ko din.
it actually is open right now. Pwede kayo mag-join. Yun nga lang, we will send a success manager to have a chat with you para lang, just a few questions maybe that we need to ask.
Hindi po na
Tapos,
nahihiya magtanong. Guys,
Kung, ay, nag-echo yata, Tia.
Sorry.
Kung-
Yun, my God.
kung we satisfy kumbaga yung requirements primarily, and then we can definitely take you in. Ayan, may mga nagko-comment na. Okay, next na magtatanong sa atin, sino na yung kasunod?
Alright.
Um,
Susunod ay si Paylin.
Kaylin. Yep.
Yan. Paylin, are you
Paylin.
there?
Hello po.
There you
Hi.
go.
Hi, Paylin.
Cam?
Hello.
White shy lang po.
Sige.
Okay lang, kami rin shy. Yan.
Yan.
Na-intrigue
Nice to
ako.
see
Are you in
you.
China or something because of yung character sa name mo?
Sorry, hindi ko po kasi nabago. I'm learning
Ayan.
Chinese.
Ah.
So, since natakal na rin po halos lahat yung gusto kong tanong na question. So, syempre, siguro tanong na rin to ng karamihan na gusto mag-start. Ano talaga, saan ba talaga ako mag-start? Ano talagang kailangan kong aralin na skills? How to get clients? Alam ko na natakal na yun sa video ni Sir John. So, learning from you, learning from everyone. Doing first-hand from you.
Yan. That's actually a really nice question, no? Kasi parang hindi lang for advanced freelancers itong live na to, but also for beginners. So, let's start. Reynard, do you have anything in mind, or TL Jan?
Yeah, I would say, so I think the number one skill, which took me a while to learn, to be honest, like I'm a late bloomer in terms of this, is really to connect with finding clients is the number one skill, I would say. Because like it's been mentioned quite a bit in the video, in this live, is that you can always learn the actual fulfillment skill, meaning the delivery skill, over time. But to be able to, find people to connect, and more importantly, to not just to get a client, but more of like finding a business that you can help, provide value, and get that value back in the form of financial. Of course, that's what the salary, the fees, whatever it is. I think that's the number one skill, which, like, not to be biased, but like I believe the tribe is the best place to learn it. Not to be biased at all, but like that's really the number one skill to learn before you even learn how to do like Facebook ads. I wish I knew that, because I believe if I knew that, I was with an agency for almost 2 years, because I did not know how to connect with more people. I just knew that this was it, kind of thing. I didn't really know how to grow past that. That's why my agency grew like almost 4 years after I started freelancing, because I didn't really know how to connect. I just had like a few clients. So yeah, I would start there. And it was a very vague answer, but I know there's a lot of resources in the community to learn how to connect, build relationships. I would start there before worrying too much about how to run Facebook ads, how to post social media, how to make emails. It's just like the first question, how do you give value to the people around you? It doesn't have to be foreigners as well, like foreign groups, whatever. Even in your direct network, are there people who you can help? Because when you help people one way or another, it will come back to you, right? So that's what I think. Yeah. So.
Boom.
Fan
Sabi nga nila.
No, ang ganda ng sagot ni Reynard. And that's one way of thinking how you want to start, right? It's a good thing na nag-start sa idea ni Reynard. Ngayon, bibigyan ko kayo ng kakaibang version. Kasi nga, abnormal ako di ba? So, I'll give you another way. So, for those na talagang nagsa-start pa lang, na mag-freelance, and you want to know how to choose a skill, what I normally do is I have this spreadsheet or Excel sheet, papel, or whatever, di ba? I draw 3 columns or 4, kung ilan man gusto mong columns, di ba? the first column, I will write lahat ng naging trabaho ko simula nung kumita ako ng pera. I list them down. Kahit ano pa yan, nag-Jollibee ko, diba, cashier ako or whatever. Just list them down. Anything you have experienced nung kumikita ka na ng pera or literally nag-work ka kahit hindi ka sinasahuran. List all those down on column A. Column B, rank them. Number 1, yung pinakamasaya kang gawin na skill or pinakamasaya kang trabahong nagawa, that's number 1. Then make at least 5. Rank them 1 to 5 or something. The rest, kalimutan mo na, di ba? Third column, out of the 5 na yon, pili ka ng 3. Tapos, sa next column, pili ka ng 1. So, I mean, you have to really sit down, list everything, rank them up, then dun ka muna mag-start sa number 1 mo. Pag nagsawa ka na, punta ka sa number 2 mo. Alright? So, that is only about the skills that you have. Kasi meron ka na nun eh. Kumbaga, before you decide to do freelancing, kahit estudyante ka pa, siguro naman naka-experience tayo ng magbenta ng ice candy. Ako kasi na-experience ko yun eh. Benta ako ng ice candy. So that's a skill. You know how to sell, right? That's a skill. So write everything down, lahat na experiences natin. And then rank them. That's my very, very first tip. Sa mga pipili pa lang, ano bang una kong gagawin? You have to go back to your personal experience muna bago ka mangarap na pag-aralan yung specific skill na nakikita mo sa iba-ibang freelancers. Not because sikat ang Facebook ads kunyari or social media kunyari, yun agad yung uunahin mo. Hindi mo naman pala siya feel. Huwag naman ganun. So you have to go back muna sa personal experience. So that's how I teach my the people who ask. Yun. Hope it makes sense.
Mind if I share? Philin? Kasi abnormal din ako kagaya ni TL dyan. I'm sure si Reynard may level of abnormality din sa mga actions sa buhay niya to a certain degree. I'll give a slightly different answer. Okay? In this, yung answer ko might not have been the same answer I would give, a few months back, maybe a few years back. Pero, first of all, you need to really be clear on what kind of freelancer you want to be. Kasi there's many ways to go about it. There's probably 100 or more ways to start freelancing. You can start with kagaya ni Renzi. He can go to a freelance platform and start searching for either projects or job opportunities. Okay. Although, full transparency, sa tribe, the way we see freelancing, hindi siya kaparehas ng remote work. But then again, it's a subjective definition of what freelancing is for you. Okay? Pangalawa, you need to be able to determine ano bang end goal mo sa pagpasok mo sa freelancing. Do you want to just do this until such a time na, you just want to rest and be just, a stay-at-home mom or maybe do something else? Or is it something that you want to do long-term talaga? So those two things, I guess, you can start with that. And the reason I say that is because again, people can approach freelancing in many different ways. Yung iba, they start to learn a skill first, and that's totally fine. You can totally do that. Some people come in and start working on their network first, maybe building a network of people they can get referrals from. Pwede rin ganon. Some people, kagaya ng the way we teach it inside the tribe, they begin with choosing a market to serve. Okay, so that's another angle that you can take. Whatever it is, kung ano man yung angle of entering the freelance industry that you want to take, you just have to be clear kung ano ba talaga yung gusto mong path na tahakin. Kasi not all paths lead to the same place sa freelancing. Okay, for example, I started remote work when in 2008. Medyo matagal na. Huwag na tanong edad ko Pero 2008, I started remote work. But it was remote work. Back then, I didn't know the difference between remote work and freelancing. I had no idea, I had no clue. The only thing I was interested in was earning money. And an opportunity presented itself na I could work from home or remotely. Then, I took a chance, I grabbed it. That's it. Diba? Not knowing na, this could lead to something else. Kasi nga, yung frame of mind ko noon was just to earn money. Ganun lang siya, no? So take a look at certain things na gusto mong ma-achieve. Again, if this is something that you want to build long-term ba, gusto mo ba kagaya ni Miss Jan na may agency ka eventually, or gusto mo ba yung tipong ano lang, you just have, additional income na gusto mong i-take every month. May nakukuha ka without having to go to an office to work. So get clear on that. Tapos from there, you have a plethora of resources. Ang dami na. This is a day and age where we're not gonna run out of resources. Diba? Yung anak ko nga niloloko ko kasi antag nito distance learning. Sobrang mabilis matuto ng Roblox, kung ano na mga games. I mean, 'di ba? Imagine mo, like kami noon, family computer yata ako diba, Ira? It took you a while to really learn things, 'di ba? Yung mga cheat codes, etc. sa mga games nun, hahanapin mo, napakahirap hanapin yan, you have to buy them. Ngayon, wala na 'di ba?
Relate ako dun.
Everything is literally, a mouse click away. So, I wouldn't worry so much about the strategy of getting in as much as I need to get clear on my reasons for coming in sa industry in the first place. So, yun. Yun ang kawirduhan na shinare ko.
Alam mo, Kuya Ron, that's a very nice advice for me. Parang kasi nandito ako sa stage ngayon in my freelancing na I want to take it somewhere, pero that somewhere is not the plan that I had in mind when I first started freelancing. So I think, Paylin, that's a very good advice, yung mga nabinigay ni TL Jan, ni Reynard, ni Kuya Ron. So yeah. If I may add lang din, okay lang ba?
Yes, of course.
If I may add lang din, siguro, if I were starting before, ang ma-advise ko sa sarili ko is don't overthink everything. So just take action. Kasi we have the tendency na magkaroon ng paralysis by analysis. Na we keep on analyzing things na we end up not doing anything. So yun siguro yung iwasan nating gawin, especially at the very beginning stages of freelancing. Ayun. Kasi most people don't start freelancing because they always think na ang dami nilang iniisip na hindi naman super relevant sa pagsa-start ng freelance. Ayun, Paylin.
Yeah. Also, dahil yung sinabanggit ni Ana, dugtungan ko lang, it doesn't mean na when you're inside a tribe na all good ka. I mean, meron pa rin, real talk, meron ka pa rin may experience na times na, kahit ikaw mismo parang you have to stop and think na ito ba talaga yung gusto mo and all. But the good thing about having tribe as your support system, kasi nga every time na nararamdaman mo yun, ang dami mong taong pwedeng pagtanungan, andun to the rescue. Like, if you're struggling with something or nabablock ka, all you need to do is just message inside the tribe community, and the people there will support you. So, reach out ka lang na, of course, you have to connect and all. You have your accountability group, and kanina nga, post hindi ka, di ba? Ang daming resources, to this effect na ang daming resources, pero kung hindi mo siya ginagamit, baliwala lang din siya. So,
Yun. We hope we answered your questions, Paylin. Do you have any other things in mind?
Yes, I think na nasagot naman po lahat. Talagang nasakto especially dun sa part na yun nga, gaya na sabi ni Miss Ana, na gusto mong aralin lahat na wala ka pang action na ginagawa. So I think dun ako mag-start. Then ililista ko yung mga skill na meron na ako. Then dun ako mag-start. Very good advice po. Thank you so much po.
Balitaan mo kami, Paylin, na post sa community ko anong para may follow through that.
Yes.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paylin. Ayan, ang sabi ng ating director, sarado na daw po ang tindahan. Madami na pong nakapila.
Yes, guys.
Ayan, sa aming mga viewers sa page and also sa community, guys, if you have questions, hold up muna kasi tatapusin muna namin yung mga nakapila sa aming tindahan right now. Ayan, Charms, yun na nga ating next sa ating tindahan.
Yes. So, Jehan, are you ready for your question tonight? Good evening sa lahat. Good evening.
Good evening, Jehan.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously, kung may abnormal na sagot yung mga coach natin, abnormal din yung tanong ko tonight kasi
Yes.
dalawa yung itatanong ko. So, just a quick background lang. So, I don't know, maybe this is the first time that na may naging panauhin kayo dito na Muslim. So, just a quick background lang para at least ma-diagnose nyo kung ano ba talaga yung problema ko sa buhay. Okay, so galing ako sa Marawi, which is yung nangyari doon na nasunog yung mga bahay namin. So, yung freelancing ang nag-save sa akin kasi nagkaroon ako ng ng income habang kasama ko yung pamilya ko. So, I was a OFW, nagtatrabaho ako abroad as a staff nurse, pero hindi na ako bumalik since gusto ko makasama yung mga anak ko. Nagkaroon ako ng opportunity na maging freelancer, and then dahil doon sa impact sa akin na nasunugan ako ng bahay pero nagkaroon ako ng kumikita na ako ng pera, gusto ko maramdaman yun ng iba kasi naalala ko baka may ibang tao dyan na down sila pero hindi nila alam kung saan sila huhugot ng pag-asa. So ang ginawa ko, nagturo ako sa ibang tao about freelancing. So ang kinagandahan nun, yung ibang tinuruan ko, nagkaroon na din ng trabaho. So hanggang sa naging trainer na din ako sa ibang sa government as a social media marketer. Magtuturo din ako this September 25 sa VA bootcamp ni Sir G. Sundulay. So ang ano ko kasi, nung umpisa, nagkaroon ako ng shiny object syndrome. Nag-aral na din ako ng email marketing ni Sir Miguel Campaner. Nag-aral na din ako sa skills. Nag-aral din ako sa VA bootcamp. Basta halos nag-build din ako ng e-commerce website talaga from scratch using WordPress. Pero napunta ko ngayon, pinagpipilian ko ngayon email marketing at saka social media marketing. Pero yung tinuturo ko ngayon is social media marketing kasi yun yung alam ko na sabi nga ni ma'am na dyan na kahit nakapikit ka, kaya mong ituro. Yes, kahit nakapikit ako, kaya kong ituro yung sa social media. Pero pag gusto ko siyang ituro sa ibang tao na ngayon, nahihirapan ako kung paano ko sila i-reach out kasi siyempre kailangan ko ng team. Pero nahihirapan ako kung sino yung kakausapin ko, kung sino yung i-reach out ko na samahan nyo ko, gusto kong mag-share sa maraming tao for free. Kaso hindi ko kaya na mag-isa kasi yung me as a trainer sa government, nagbibigay lang sila ng student sa akin. So ibig sabihin may student ng tuturuan ko. Gusto ko magturo sa iba for free kasi naawa ko doon sa iba na hindi naman makapasok sa scholarship. Naghahanap ako na, huy, samahan nyo naman ako, gusto kong magturo, samahan nyo ko, ganito, ako yung magbabayad sa expenses, like for example sa Zoom, yung pabayad sa Zoom, yung ako lahat yung gagawa ng work, basta samahan nyo lang ako, kasi baka may mga technical problem. Yun nga, wala akong mahanap na tutulong sa akin, kasi di ba ang ibang tao ang gusto nila, sasamahan ka doon na sa pag naabot mo na yung goal mo. Pero while na inaabot mo pa yung goal mo, bihira lang yung sasama sa'yo sa process. Mm-hmm. So, ang tanong ko dito, paano ko malalaman na time po ba talaga this time na mag-share sa ibang tao o hindi muna? Yun yung unang tanong ko. So, yung pangalawang tanong ko kasi gustong-gusto ko talaga, hindi ko alam kung paano, but gustong-gusto ko talaga mag-build ng agency. So, ang pinaproblema ko naman, pag kumuha ko ng mga client at binigay ko sa ibang tao, pag hindi nila nagawa yung trabaho, sa akin babagsak yung problema. Ano yung process na dapat na gawin ko para magkaroon ako or mga sinyalis na, sige, handa na ako magkaroon ng agency? Yun yung dalawang tanong ko. Kailan ako magiging handa na ano yung mga process na kailangan kong pagdaanan para ma-share ko yung kailangan kong i-share sa ibang tao. At least hindi man yung pang-expert level, pero at least makaambag ako sa success nila sa pagsisimula nila bilang freelancing.
Wow. Una kong sabihin sa'yo, salute.
Yes.
Thank you po.
Grabe ka, ito ka, oh.
Thank you po.
I mean, hindi lahat ng tao open sa ganitong challenge. Pagdating sa gusto magturo pero hindi sila makakuha ng help, di ba? And I salute you kasi you've gone through it on your own. And I know the feeling that you have gone through something on your own. I exactly know how you feel. So now, yung first question mo, how do you know kung ready ka na? Actually, nasagot mo na eh. Nasagot mo sa pangalawa na gustong-gusto mo nang magturo. That means ready ka na. It's your body telling you na this is your time to continue doing what you want. Kasi gustong-gusto mo na nga, ikaw na nga nagsabi. Huwag ka na makulit, di ba? So sinabi mo na nga yun. So nasagot mo na yung number 1 mo, di ba? Sorry, ganito ako makipag-usap. Ayan. Number 2, I want to hear mo na si Reynard kasi he also built a really good agency. So he might, and he's a guy for the systems, and he is a good guy to ask how to really start the process and system. So the floor is yours.
Oh no. So yeah, what's my answer? Sorry. So first I think, I think one thing I learned over time, and I guess this is really person to person because I know many people who can do multiple things, but for me it's like you have two options, right? Like teaching other people, which has really great impact, and other is building the agency, right? So my thought process there, based on like the multiple times I've tried to start multiple things as well, is first you need to be clear, like with Sir Ron said, like what's your goal, right? From freelancing, and I think you were clear with your 2 goals already, but for you, which one is more a priority, let's say in the near term, right? Given your longer term goals. So this might be a bit more vague, but then I like to start thinking like, okay, let's say 3 years, even 3 years or a year from now, let's say 3 years, how do you imagine your life looking like, right? And I'm so vague, but let's see what we can go from here. But what do you want, right? Do you imagine yourself with the agency? Do you imagine yourself like spending more time with your family? Do you imagine yourself really teaching so many people? What does that look like? And try to work your way back to answer the question of what should come first in the next 3 to 6 months to get to that goal, right? Because both can happen in the next 2 years, but I think for me, my personal opinion, and this is different for each person, is that you gotta choose your battles as well, right? And you gotta ask yourself like, which one can help the other become more successful in the future, or which one is more urgent right now as well? Because there's so many factors, right? But like, do you feel like the people you want to teach really would need help right now? And if you're able to do that, will it pay off really well for them? And is it worth like not pushing too much on the agency side? Because both are actually very different problems. Speaking from like example myself, like I started the agency first. Then I started Agency Rocket Fuel, which is actually a coaching business to a sense. It's not an agency. So they're very different. So I'm very thankful I have a partner sa Agency Rocket Fuel who helps me. If I didn't, I would go crazy. So I would try to think like if I have a hard, like so many questions here, but if I have a hard time finding a partner to help me on one of these things, then I have to choose which one to double down on first. Because one will help you with the other, whichever you pick, right? Or whichever you feel will happen. Because that was my strategy, or at least that was the strategy I had in mind with starting the agency. Is I wanted to build the agency because if I can learn how to market, if I start a new business in the future, I already have a business that can market other businesses, and that the work we do with the new businesses will be stronger, more amplified, more likely to succeed than if I tried to start the other business first. So that was my thinking, because that was my strength, which is marketing. Of course, if it's something else, then I would have done it differently. So I know it's not the answer yet, but I hope that gives some clarity that my personal recommendation is to choose one, and which one do you feel is more aligned right now to your longer term goals, because it's definitely tough to juggle those two things at the same time without, like you said, you don't have like a partner yet of sorts to help you push the other. So yeah. Does John have anything to add?
I'd like to share
Yeah.
something then.
Sorry, go ahead, Chams.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Jehan, tama naman yung point mo, yung mga considerations mo, yung mga concerns mo. What if I get clients and then I pass it on to people and then they wouldn't be able to deliver? So, my question is, nabanggit mo yung word na process. So, tanong ko sa'yo, how's your process? Do you have your process been documented already?
Ano po yung tanong nyo? Hindi ko po naklaro.
May, di ba, yung paggawa mo ng mga social media, nagtuturo ka and all, yung sa service fulfillment mo sa client mo. So, meron ka na bang proseso na do you have a process in place already para, kunwari, magti-train ka sa tao, ifa-follow na lang nila yon
Oo, kasi
para mas
sa
madali din.
Apo, sa pagtatrain kasi namin, 'di ba? Trainer kasi ako sa I don't know if you are familiar with Digital Jobs PH. Isa ko dun sa trainer nila. So may talagang process kaming sinusunod. So, 'yun, nandun din yung sa niching, yung sa pag-create ng freelancing, pag-prospecting, paano makipag-usap sa prospect, pati yung pag-build ng relationship, pag-reach out sa mga unaware na audience to convert them. Yun, lahat namin yung tinuturo. Ang ano ko lang kasi ngayon, kasi ang sobra sa pag nagpo-post kasi ako na may training kami, sobrang dami na nag-PM sa akin na sana paano makapasok, sana ganito. But of course, hindi naman ako yung nagkukuha ng mga scholar kasi binibigay lang sa akin yung student. So, I want to share with them. Ang problema ko lang kasi kung tuturuan ko sila na mag-isa lang ako, ang feeling ko kasi kailangan ko ng partner or kasama na magti-teach sa kanila. Yun nga lang, hindi ako makahanap kasi naghahanap ako ng pwedeng sumama sa akin na yung willing tumulong din sa ibang gustong mag-freelancing. Pero wala talaga akong mahanap. So, kailangan ko ba na maghanap ng ibang tao na babayaran ko or I can start na maghanap ng kung sino yung willing na mag-offer din ng help without expecting ng pabalik like bayad or something.
Jehan, for me, you're in the right place right now. Nasa loob ka ng tribe community. All you have to do is post your question. Guys, may training ako sa Lunes. Sinong gustong mag-volunteer na tumulong sa akin?
Pero mga tao sa tribe, expert na lahat.
No, I mean, alisin mo yung mga misconception na ganun. Because I'm telling you, nasa loob ka man ng tribe or tribe community, if you don't ask, you don't get your answer. Right now, sinabi mo na naka-live to sa buong Madlang People, diba? Na you're getting a hard time finding the people who wants to help you. Ito na yung one means mo na i-announce mo na siya.
Yeah.
Post it. Guys, may training ako sa Friday. Sinong available? Walang walang keme, walang halong sasama lang sa akin, tulungan nyo lang ako. I'm telling you, maraming magko-comment.
Sana. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Let me
Thank
try
you talaga.
let me try to give you my thoughts on this, Jan, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
Kasi kanina when you were telling us that you were operating under an agency of the government, trying to help people out. Is that right? Tama ba?
Yep po.
So essentially, the training that you provide is in partnership with that agency.
Opo. Actually, marami kaming trainer. Kinukuha lang nila kami per kung saan kami nakadestino. Yun,
Got it.
kung pipiliin kami. Yan.
Okay. And when you say you have scholars, is that
Sila na yung kumukuha ng scholars. Binibigay lang sa amin
binabayaran ba kayo as trainers nitong agency
Yes,
na to do that?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Sige.
Yes.
So if that was the case, kung ganun yung scenario, Jehan, I think it's more of a concern that you need to bring up with the agency that's funding this project. Okay? Kasi the only people who can answer yung question of whether to add people to provide training, kasi is it safe for me to assume na may bayad ka sa trainer? Tama ba? Meron or wala?
Meron naman.
Okay. So it's hard. It really will be hard for you to invite someone to join you. I know it's kind of philanthropic yung ginagawa mo, pero mahirap kasi talagang maghatak ng tao. Tapos at the end of the day, wala silang bayad. Let's just put that up straight, di ba? There's a very interesting principle na tinuturo ni Coach Mark Allen, which is our coach, kami ni Jan, sa loob ng tribe, where he speaks about certain stages of a person's professional journey. Wag na lang freelancing, basta professional journey yan. He talks about 4 stages. Ang tawag niya doon is the first stage is survival, the second is stability, the third is success, and the fourth is ano nga yun?
Something giving back to the society.
Yeah. But, so
lagot tayo kay Coach.
Lagot tayo.
Coach Mark.
Nawala yung term eh. But anyway, let's try to focus on the first 2 lang muna. Okay? Survival and stability. So a lot of us kasi, siguro a good majority of people are in between those 2. Either surviving or, at a point where they're stable. And I refer to surviving and stability income-wise. Alam mo naman, malaking bagay talaga sa atin sa Pilipinas yung you have enough income, di ba? Yan talaga, that's one of the biggest drivers or motivators for someone going into something. Now the struggle is, ganito siya, Jehan eh. And I can say this kasi a few years back, before I met the tribe, I actually started doing what you were doing for free. I was going around, contacting people. Si Coach Harry, alam to. This is how I met Coach Harry. 2017, I believe. I started going around because I wanted to teach people about this new opportunity of being able to work online. Di ko nga alam freelancing tawag dun eh. Basta alam ko pwede magtrabaho online. Ay, yun lang yun. So I started going around, organizing groups, teaching people for free. And you know what? As big as the advocacy was, as passionate as I was about helping people, eventually I ran out of gas. Literally and figuratively. Wala na akong energy. Wala na rin akong panggas talaga. Literally. Kasi lahat ng expense sa akin eh. Pupunta ako rito. Alam mo yon, gumagastos ako. Hindi naman ako binabayaran. The problem was, I didn't realize that I wasn't at a stage where I should have been, that I should have this advocacy. Kumbaga, it's not that it wasn't a good thing to do. It's just that it wasn't the best thing to do right now. Yun lang. It was all a matter of timing. Even until now, I haven't gone back to do it again kasi wala pa rin eh. I just don't have the resources to do that right now. I'm stable, yes. But I'm not at the point where, I can go on for a month teaching people for free. Tapos pag uwi ko ng bahay, bayad kuryente ko, bayad yung ganito, ganyan. Alam mo yon? Mahirap talaga yon. And we can't ask for that from people. People's work, their energy, their time, their effort, oftentimes have to be compensated. Now, hindi ko binaburst yung bubble mo Jehan. Kasi ang ganda ng advocacy mo eh. 'Di ba? And that's the reason why these agencies exist. Yung mga people like the ICT, 'di ba?
Yep.
These are the agencies that organize these sort of things. I believe we have two, at least alam ko sa loob ng tribe, two people who do the same thing, si Cherry Balboa. She works as a trainer. Si Coach Mags as well does this.
Yes
so
po.
they
Magkakasama kami.
Yon.
Ayun pala.
So, to answer your first question, I think you bring this up with the people that you work with kasi sila yung may ability to be able to fund people who can go with you to train other people. If you're asking, you probably will get people here sa loob ng community to join you. Pero up to a certain degree lang yan, trust me.
Yeah, not all.
Pag napagod, nagutom, naubusan ng pera, unfortunately, that's the sad reality. They will say, you know what, Chian, sorry. The advocacy is great, but we need cash. That's the reality.
Yun ang inaalala ko nga din.
Exactly. So, revisit which stage you're at right now. I know yung puso mo is all about helping, but maybe, just maybe, it might not be the
Hindi
best
pa
time
sa
for you
ngayon.
to do this. Yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe, what you're doing is already enough for now. Baka naman enough na muna yan. 'Di ba? Baka hindi mo pa kailangan mag-scale as far as your advocacy is concerned. Kumbaga, parang gano'n. Okay?
Opo. Thank you so much. Maganda.
Yun.
Thank you so much. At
Cool.
So the fourth stage pala, sabi ni Rocky, is significant. So thanks,
Significance, yun. Agagalitan ako ni Coach
Minus
Mark
tayo,
Allen
Tito Ron. Minus point.
Oo nga eh. Dalawa tayo, Coach, hindi ka rin nakasagot.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Do we move on, Nas? Sa next na magtatanong, Nas? Are you there, Nas?
Thank you, Jayan.
Thank you, Jayan, by the way.
guys.
Jehan, by the way, check the comments
Yep.
dun sa live. Maraming nagvo-volunteer. So maybe you can work anything out. Maraming
Okay po.
nagvo-volunteer.
Thank you so
PM mo
much.
sila.
Thank you.
Oo.
Yes po. Thank you.
Pag-grab food mo na lang para hindi magutom.
Sige po. Thank you.
Alright, thank you, Jen. Nas, you're up next. Nas, can you turn on your camera?
Wait lang po.
Sige.
Kala ko si Nas Daily, kinabahan ako eh.
Oo nga eh. Yan, oh.
Good evening ko sa lahat.
Good evening. Shoot your question.
A silent reader lang po ako sa community at hindi naman ako ganun active kasi tinatapos ko pa yung website ko na to start a freelancing ko. And yung una ko pong tanong is, ano po yung pinaka-best na gawin para mag-gain mo yung first client? Is it to do a cold email or direct message the client's social media accounts or just do a direct proposal in Upwork, sir? At may pangalawa pa po akong tanong, is it advantage to have a certificate even though you have no background in freelancing or corporate world? Is it advantage that you have a certificate in your skills that you have written in your social media account or in your website? Is it at ano pa pangatlo po ay, is it okay to offer always a 1 week free service if you are starting a freelancing?
Ang ganda ng tanong.
Ganda ng questions, oo.
Thank you.
Nangangati na si Reynat para sagutin yan.
Yeah, go.
Miss John, go first. Lead generation yan.
Go, Reynard.
Okay, I'll go first. What was the first? Because there's so many questions. The first question was, what's the best way to start? What channel?
To reach out to clients daw.
To reach out. Okay. So it really, such a bad answer. Really, I would say depends, and I would say, like I think I mentioned a while ago, like the best place is really probably within your network. So I know there's so many ways, like cold email, all these things, but you know someone, no matter where you come from, you know someone who has a business who needs help, like for sure, or you know someone who does know someone. So my personal preference, again, it could be different because personally, actually, I started on Upwork, so like I'm just going against what I started on. But if I had a chance to go back and like start really easy, I would like literally check my Facebook friends, look at who has connections or something, and just ask them, is there anything I can help you with? If they have a business now, do you know anyone who has a business? I'm looking to help them grow. And you can even just start there. You don't have to say what skill yet. Just the point that you're looking to provide value to enterprise of sorts, even if it's not even like nonprofits, anything. That's the best way because you're more comfortable, I would assume. You don't have to deal with cold email, all these fancy tactics. I would start within your network, and then you can go fancy later on because it's, I think, the simplest way to start. There was one business venture I had that did not do well, so I don't know, but like it was another one where we tried to start like a financial coaching kind of thing before while I was in school, and like that's what we did. I just messaged, like I made a list of 100 people that I thought we could help, Facebook friends, college friends, everywhere, and I just messaged them one by one. Hey, we're looking to start this kind of offer or business. Do you know anyone who would need help, or can I help you by any chance? If they say yes, then cool. If no, then no, we move on, right? So I would start with your network and just message people close to you. So yeah, that's my first question. Number two, Ms. Jan. Okay, go.
Sorry to cut you, sir, but I did that already. I have sorry, sir. I did that already. I have not in a 0% experience. I did a freelancing way back then when I was high school. I was offering a service to my teachers, classmates, and way back in college too. Friends of friends, they just called me and I did some work for them, but I have no laptop there yet and I didn't save that work. So I start this year again from fresh and put my old works to my website right now, and I'm just finishing my website right now to start a freelancing and to get ready to have a first client.
Okay, so I will pass it to Miss Jan if that's very lead generation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is part of the lead generation process naman. So it's good, Nas, that you have experienced the first step because that is actually my advice also. Start with your network. So dahil tapos ka na sa step na yon, level up ka na ng konti, you want to know, mag-cold outreach ka ba? Magdi-direct message ka ba? Ang question ko, nasan ba yung market na gusto mong iserve? Are they on what platform? Nasa LinkedIn ba sila? Nasa Facebook ba sila? Instagram? TikTok? Figure out muna. Who do you want to market your services to? Sino muna? Do you know already kung sino gusto mong iserve? May final ano ka na ba doon?
I have a final target, ma'am, in LinkedIn, in some freelancing websites also, and it's all about in graphic designing, in digital marketing, in web designing, and in web development. That's my skills, ma'am, and my target also to have a client is have a knowledge on that skills, ma'am. And I have
Huwag mo na ako
certificates for that skills. Miss.
Okay, no problem.
Okay,
Ganito na lang,
okay.
Tagalog na lang tayo, nag-iisapan ako.
Sige po.
Bali, ganito, sa target market, sino yung gusto mong servan ng graphic design services mo or ng mga skills mo? Meron na bang specific tao? Like, may specific industry ka na ba na gusto mo i-serve?
Yung main target ko talaga is yung sa marketing na field. Yung po talaga sila yung mga target ko ngayon, yung first target
Digital marketing companies? Digital marketing companies
yes,
ba?
Yes po.
Okay.
At
So
yung...
you have the... Sorry.
Opo.
May delay. Alright. You have the general market. Now, sino sa loob ng digital marketing companies yung gusto mo munang kausapin? Tao naman tayo. So meron ka ng company, sino naman sa loob?
For me, my first target are the one who posted the work, the job. Yun po yung mga first target ko. And then if makita ko po yung email ng manager, if makakita ko po yung plan ko po is i-cold email ko po. Then show my portfolio and offer free work if is it okay for them po.
Okay, so that's a good plan. Now, ayusin lang natin yung plan mo. So, ang naririnig ko is you want to tap digital marketing companies na nasa loob ng mga job platforms na nagpo-post. Tama? Na naghahanap ng mga graphic designers. Okay, so that's good. So, the first step is i-message mo muna sa loob ng platform kung saan mo sila nakita. Pero dahil nga abnormal ako, minessage ko na sa loob ng platform, i-message ko pa sa email. Tapos,
email and social media.
Yeah. Hahayaan kong mabwisit sila sa akin. But my intention is, I have to show up. I want them to see me na nakita kita sa job platform, kinausap kita sa email, chinat kita sa social media, wala kang takas sa akin. Sumagot ka. Parang ganun yung intention ko. At the back of my mind, right? Kasi your end goal is to get a client. Alam mo kung nasan si client, nag-post na siya, sagutin mo muna siya sa post. Pag wala pa rin siyang reply, a day or 2 or 3 days, email ka na. Pag wala pa rin, punta ka ng social media. Alright? So that's yung answer sa first question mo. How will you outreach? Outreach everywhere as long as alam mong legit yung mga platforms na minimessagean mo. So that's the first answer to your question. Make sense po?
Opo, thank you po. Pero yung yung sa first message ko po, do I have to do na ipakita ko na ba yung like for a sample plan for marketing example po? Magsisend pa ako ng sample plan, mag-attach pa po ako ng file.
Okay. Depende sa job request. Alright? So some clients, when they post a job request, they ask for a portfolio, especially for creatives like you. So I suggest very detailed, read everything nung nasa job post nila. At kung merong request doon to attach something, give it to them. Give it kung ano yung gusto nila. Minsan may mga job clients na nagsasabi na comment the word go or comment the word strawberry if you read the full description. Make sure you follow that. So we're talking about the job posts, di ba? Make sure na sundin mo kung ano yung hinihingi nila. Pero kung hindi ka naman hiningan ng portfolio pa, ang pinaka number one suggestion ko, before you even look for clients, i-optimize nyo muna lahat ng profile.
Social media.
Social media and everything. Para hindi na nila kailangan humingi ng portfolio. Iso-stock ka na lang nila, makikita na nila yung work mo everywhere. So, optimize everything before you apply. So, that's for
By the
your...
way, thank you po. By the way, speaking of LinkedIn po, kailangan ko po ba mag-take a quiz doon para maging optimized talaga? Hindi na. Kahit ni isa. Okay, thank you po. Kasi 90% pa lang quiz na lang yung kulang.
No, yeah, no need. As long as clear yung profile mo. Pag nakita ko yung profile mo, alam ko na, uy, graphic designer si Nas. Pag nakita ko, uy, ito yung reserve niyang market. As long as clear, maayos yung profile, okay na yun. Next question mo, certificates. Para sa akin, wala akong certificate. I don't care about certificate. Kayo ba, guys? Importante po yung certificates.
No.
Kasi minsan yung iba, kapag sa company kasi, hinahanapan ng certificates. Kapag sa
I have something I want to share to you, Nas. Okay
thank
na.
you po.
Okay.
Okay lang po.
And alam nyo naman ako, because obviously, not just because I am part of the community, but from day one, once I learned how the tribe works and how they teach freelancing, I've always been an advocate of yung proseso na to. Sa tribe, I'll give you a 30,000 foot view, pero at the same time, it may serve as a more detailed explanation of how things work pagdating sa freelancing, the way the tribe does it. Baka lang may ma-pick up ka and this might, help you sa proseso mo when it comes to acquiring clients. Sa tribe kasi, the things that we teach, let's try to cut it into stages, okay? Siguro 3 stages na lang to make it a little simpler. Keep it simple. The first part, often na tinuturo sa loob ng tribe is for you to identify muna sino yung market na gusto mong i-serve. And when we talk about markets that you want to serve, a lot of people kasi when they hear the word niching down, oftentimes they think niching down is being very specific with the skill or service that they offer. But really, niching down is all about a combination of a market and a service. Okay, so very specific ka sa market mo and at the same time you have a very specific service you offer to that market, then you're niched down. Kumbaga, yun yung term na niching down. So going back, that's the first thing that you want to do. Bakit? Kasi the first thing you want, if you want to be able to establish a freelance business where you attract clients, ito kasi yung main difference eh. A lot of us are in the business of chasing clients, while freelancers like Jan and Reynard and Anna and Charms, they are in the business of attracting clients. There's a huge difference. Sinabi mo kanina, how can you get clients to notice you? Diba? So, pag yung mindset mo is, okay, you guys go after me instead of me chasing after you. Yun ang gusto natin mangyari. Okay? Now, balik ako. Step 1, stage 1. Determining who you want to serve, what sort of service you want to provide for them, and oftentimes it has to do with the solution to a problem that they have. Okay? Ang tawag namin dyan sa loob ng tribe, crafting your irresistible offer stage. Yun yung unang stage na gagawin mo. You need to be able to craft that irresistible offer. And it involves, again, picking a market, finding out their problems, crafting an offer, testing it out, making sure it's irresistible. Ibig sabihin, kinakagat ng tao yung offer mo. Okay, walang pinagkaiba yan sa, halimbawa, gusto mo magkarinderya sa isang lugar, pupunta ka doon, magsusubo ka na magbenta ng a few things. Kung ano yung pinakamabenta, usually you stick with that. Parang ganun din yung crafting an irresistible offer. The next thing that you want to do, once you're done with crafting your offer, and nagkakaroon ka na ng traction doon sa offer na yun, you want to start building your audience. Yung audience building stage na to. Okay, so paparamihin mo na ngayon yung eyeballs na meron ka. So yung attention na and ideally, the eyeballs that you're getting are eyeballs ng mga ideal client mo na. The people that you really want to serve. Okay, you're gonna start ignoring other people na. Yung mga hindi mo target market, medyo dededmahin mo ng konti. Huwag naman sobra-sobra. Okay, but you want to get the eyeballs of the people that you want to serve. Bakit? Kasi that's gonna be your pool of leads for your business. Okay, if you're constantly building your audience, hindi ka mauubusan ng mga kliyente mo. Okay, sa business mo. The last stage, okay, now that you've built your offer, you've built your audience. Okay, the last stage of freelancing that we teach inside the tribe, is now putting your offer in front of your audience. Okay? That's attracting them. It also involves yung attraction marketing na tinatawag is making sure that you constantly communicate with the audience that you've built. Okay? Meron ka ng grupo ng mga tao eh. Ito na yung mga tao mo. You have to be constantly communicating with them and delivering them value. Okay? And oftentimes value, subjective to, it has to be something that's valuable to them. Hindi valuable sa'yo. Yun ay ko-communicate mo. And if you do that right, yung tatlong stages na yon, you have an irresistible offer, you have an audience that you built, and you're constantly delivering value to them, you'll see na hindi ka mauubusan ng clients. Kasi people are naturally attracted to you. Parang walang pinagkaiba to sa Piolo Pascual na merong fans club. Yon. Di ba? Si Piolo Pascual, may target demographic yan ng mga fans niya. Mga dalaga, mga ganito, ganyan. Nanay, ewan ko, no? Hindi ko naman alam. Hindi ako Piolo Pascual.
Alam mo yan.
Pero it works the same way. The principles are pretty much the same. You build a fan base, okay? And oftentimes that fan base is where your clientele will come from. As long as you take care of that fan base as well. Does that make sense, Nas? May ano ba?
Opo. Parang
Okay,
ano lang po yan. Parang yung katulad. Kasi marami akong marami akong online courses na pinag-aralan. Like sa Coursera, Udemy, Google Skillshare, sa Skillshare na rin. Google Skillshare, Payment at Skillshare. Pinag-aralan ko rin at kailangan ko talagang i-segment yung target market ko.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't even need to do any segmentation at the beginning, Nas. Pili ka lang ng isa para hindi mahirap. Isang group lang muna kasi yung segmentation comes a little after na yan eh. Pagka yung mga services mo, for example, you diversify your services na, doon ka na magse-segment kasi the way you communicate with different segments, kailangan iba-iba na rin siya. Pero initially, huwag ka muna doon. Huwag mo munang problema yung segmentation.
Kaya pangit po baka pagsabayan yung kasi yung plan ko kasi is to have a portfolio in Upwork na yung separate ba yung skills like sa web designing, web development, marketing. Yung separate ko tapos pagsasabayin
I'd focus on muna, Nas?
Marketing.
I'd focus on one market, one offer lang muna.
Opo, sige, thank you.
Yun lang muna for now. Pag kinakagat na siya, binibili na yung offer mo, then you have the capacity, the ability to infuse other offers inside your business. Kasi pag marami, sabog-sabog yung attraction marketing efforts mo. Kasi it's like trying to speak to an Italian, a Japanese, an American, a Filipino all at the same time. Hindi nila naiintindihan yung mga iba't ibang lingwahe.
Alien language na yung narinig sila.
Hindi nila maiintindihan. So you have to speak one language, and so therefore you have to target one group of people lang muna at the beginning. So umpisa lang naman siya. Okay?
Siguro Kuya, if I may add lang din, siguro Kuya Ron, dun sa mga other viewers natin na wala sa live, wala sa Zoom ngayon, that's a common mistake siguro ng mga newbie freelancers na they think that they have to layer skill over skill over skill over skill just to be marketable. Right. When in reality, you don't really need a ton of skill. You only need one skill that you're sure that will help someone or a business or your market. So, ayun, just a reminder lang din, no, Nas, and to everyone na sinabi nga ni Kuya Ron na it's better to just focus on one market and one offer as well.
Let me correct what I said, just to be sure, baka mabash na naman ako dito eh. I'm not saying you're gonna stick with that one market forever. Yes. You can later on, you can diversify your offer.
Yes.
Okay? Pero, you need to get something going muna.
Yeah.
Kumbaga, engine starter lang muna. Pag tumatakbo na, sige, okay na. You can add certain things to your offer. See, correct me if I'm wrong, Mama Jan, ganun yung ginawa mo.
Yes.
Diba?
Isa lang muna.
Si Reynard.
I'll do the same thing for 4 years now. So yeah.
Diba? So ganun siya.
He was overwhelmed din siya sa side ng freelancer. Ayun. Right. If I may add lang din, no, Kuya Ron, since you've mentioned kanina, you've summarized basically the tribe way of freelancing. let's take this moment again to let our viewers know that
Ala ko, moment of silence eh.
a moment of silence. Sige. Ayan. Let's take this moment again to just let our viewers know that Tribe is actually a paid program. So it's a paid program na we teach you how to do the freelancing in the Tribe way. So lahat ng mga sinabi ni Kuya Ron kanina, ituturo yon in detailed sa Tribe membership. So if you want to hear more of Tribe membership, just go ahead and type Tribe sa comment section. TRIBE. TRIBE. So, pag nakikita niyo ng mga success managers namin, they're going to message you on more details about joining Tribe. Yon.
Okay. Now, we're a little hard pressed for time here. Alam ko si Mama Jan might have some appointments pa mamaya. Pero we have 2 more people. Last na to. Edward, are you there? We'll make this
Thank you
super
po.
quick.
Thank you, Nas.
Thank you, Nas.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Nas.
Thank you po.
Edward, super quick. Shoot your question. Go.
Okay, sorry, wait. There are 3 questions. The first one is a personal question. How long did you get your first client, and what's your struggle? It's from Upwork, so that is my first question. And the second question is, what's your advice for freelancing platforms? What are other platforms that could possibly my outlet on offering my services or work? And then in general question number 3 is, I don't want to get lost in the freelancing journey. So I'm starting out this month actually. So I want to ask, can you give us or me a glimpse of how's and what's building your freelance work is? So take myself as for example, I actually have my skill set is in video editing. So yeah, so that's my questions. Is my question clear so far?
Yeah,
Okay.
nice. I can do number 1, which was experience with first client. If you really count my first clients, it was even free. So I was in college back then, and then actually I don't know my timeline anymore. It's so long ago. But I think I remember that I had a friend who was like an influencer. Actually, so I did try ads before my first client. I'm so confused. But I had a friend who was an influencer. And I basically offered him, like, because I heard about ads and stuff. I learned it from a course, like from Udemy as well. Like I got, Udemy, it says $200, then $5 sale.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it. So it's always $5. But then I grabbed it and Facebook ads, and I basically offered it for him for free. That I'll run some ads for you to increase your likes. It doesn't even conversions in something. I just got my foot in the door, and it's the first thing I wanted to try. So that's technically my first unpaid client. My first paid client was on Upwork, and I think this is probably useful advice. So for me, back then I had no professional experience. I was a student, right? But you might think that there's no, because what advice you'll hear, especially in the Tribe, is always try to prove your value. Like, what can you provide in terms of, especially revenue growth for the most part, doesn't have to be always, but if you can tie yourself to an increase in value, either revenue or time to the client, that's ideal, right? You learn this in the Tribe and wherever. So what I did, although I was just a student back then, I tried to really think like, where in my time as a student was I able to provide some business value? And I realized that 2 years before that, or a year before that even, I was in charge of sponsorships for our student organization. And I remember that I actually I helped close like around 100,000 in sponsorship deals. So what I wrote on my Upwork back then was, because I tried to program for 2 years and I did not get any clients. So I was in that phase, and I moved to writing because I thought I could write. And I learned on the way that, I can put on my proposal, it's just so short. I wrote that I've been responsible for writing a sponsorship letter that's generated 2,000 USD. Right, I just made it USD because I wanted to attract US clients in Upwork. And yeah, someone invited me to a job or something on Upwork, and that's where my first client came. And again, they paid me $50 per week. Which is very, it's I know that's a lot for some people and stuff, but it's relatively low to what you can possibly earn from what you learn from the Tribe. But yeah, you just start there, and again, we've already talked about how you get from there, but that was my first client, right? So try to find something that you've done in the past where there's some business value, or you've saved someone time for video editing, I know it might be like, my videos doesn't directly generate revenue. I'll challenge you to think like it can, right? If you make a marketing video, how much money it potentially made a client? Or if not money, like let's say you did video editing for a certain organization, you saved the founder or owner like 20 hours because it takes them 20 to do, and you did it in an hour, right? So try to find ways where you can prove your value in terms of increasing like monetarily or decreasing time for whoever you're working. So I'd start there, and there is something you can find if you just try to really think. So yeah, number 1, I'm good.
2 and 3. Sagutin mo din daw yung 2 and 3.
Can I add?
Yeah. Go.
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go.
Okay. Can I add? Actually, the question is actually from Upwork. I have minimal problems with Upwork actually. So I had like a good profile, a good portfolio, or I actually had a Rising Talent badge in like 2 days span. So like that actually, yeah, I get that what you were saying. It's to prove value and stuff. And also I just wanna add, like, I wanna actually make good use of my connects. So I actually have like 100 connects so far, and right now it's down to like 50, and I still have like submitted proposals still. So it's not like like I have like, what do you call this, may mga sumagot na and stuff. And yung question kasi is like, is it still normal naman that I still have this like way na nangyayari to or stuff? So yeah.
Normal ka pa.
Yeah.
Super normal.
Normal ka pa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your question actually is, how long did we get a client, right? Tama ba? Yun yung first question mo.
Yeah.
It's dependent. Yung how long, ang thinking ko, dahil nga abnormal ako ulit, hindi ko siya tinitignan in a way na gaano kaya katagal ako sagutin ng client na to. That's not how I look at things when I apply in Upwork before, when I go into freelance platforms. What I'm thinking is, pag hindi pa siya sumasagot, dapat may ina-applyan akong iba pa at may hinihintay akong iba pa. Kaya, I don't know the answer to your first question, how long did I get mine? Because hindi ko talaga binilang nung time na yon. I just tuloy-tuloy lang. You have 50 more connects. Make sure na yung susunod na mga applyan mo, ideal client mo na. So we go back to what Tito Ron said earlier, ano muna yung end goal mo? Sino muna, dagdagan natin yung end goal. Sino ba yung ideal client mo? Dapat ba ganito yung revenue niya bago siya makapagkuha ng video editing service? You have to list down who are your ideal clients bago mo gamitin the remaining of the 50 connects. That's how you could really utilize the rest of your connects naman. So wag mong isipin gaano katagal, is it still normal na wala pang nagre-reply? Instead na ganun yung mindset mo, think about sino kaya yung next ideal client na gusto kong lapitan at pag-aksayahan ng next connects ko. I-shift mo yung thinking mo that way para hindi maubos yung time. Alright? And then you have your second question was about, sorry, can you repeat the second question?
What's your advice for freelancing platforms? What are other platforms that could possibility of my outlet on offering my services or work?
Tinder sasabihin niya, Nick.
Oo, Tinder. Walang connection sa Tinder. Huwag mo akong idamay.
Kasi actually,
sige.
Kasi actually po, I did like Indeed rin po. So I'm catering pa ng doon. And I just started lang rin. So
TL, mind if I answer this? Kasi
Go.
alam ko
Okay,
madaldal
sure.
ako pero pasensyahan nyo na ako. No?
Go.
Medyo ginaganaan lang ako tonight. I'll answer your question in a different way kasi nga medyo weirdo kami lahat dito. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing with freelance platforms kasi, here's again, this depends on whether you want freelancing this way or you want something else. If you're the kind of freelancer who wants to get out of these platforms, there's other ways to do it. You can go on Facebook, LinkedIn, kung ano naman dyan. Pero my personal take on platforms is, ang nangyayari kasi when you're on a platform, typically, and especially if your positioning is such that you're selling a skill just like everybody else, kasi the way you explain it, I'm a graphic designer, I'm ganito, ganyan. Usually, you take on the identity of your skill, di ba? Parang ganun eh. We're trying to sell the skill, and a lot of people are trying to do that. Ang problema nun, you increase, nagkakaroon ng increase of competition. Remember, it's a marketplace. Ang platforms are marketplaces for people who are trying to find freelancers. Tapos, oftentimes, outnumbered yung mga job opportunities ng mga freelancers na naghahanap ng trabaho. So, supply and demand. Marami yung supply. Siyempre, pababaan ang presyo. There's this term called commoditized. Okay, pag nadudong ka sa isang lugar kung saan marami kayo and, all else equal, iba-iba lang kayo ng offer ng price. Usually, the person making the choice bases their decision on sino ang pinakamura. That's one of the innate characteristic ng isang platform. Kaya mapapansin nyo, kadalasan reklamo ng mga tao nasa Upwork, nasa online jobs, hirap naman dito, daming kakompetensya, tapos pababaan ng rate.
Yeah.
Kasi ganun nga yung labanan. All because you guys are in a marketplace where outnumbered yung naghahanap ng freelancers. Ang pangalawa, everybody is positioned the same way. Kumbaga lahat kayo nakaharap sa kaliwa. Very few decide to look the other way or at least position their services the other way. Now, let me give you an advice, Edward. Okay, total nandito ka na rin lang sa community para hindi masayang. Okay, I know ang mindset mo right now is I'm on platforms, I have these opportunities to connect. May mga ganito akong resources. Shift your thinking from selling your skill to selling a solution. Okay? It doesn't mean you have to give up your skill. Yung skill mo pa rin will be your tool to provide the solution. Pero, instead of focusing on it, pag nakikipag-usap ka ngayon sa mga potential clients mo, ang focus mo na is, what is your problem? Gaya nga na sinabi ni Reynard kanina, oftentimes, mas maganda kung if it has to do with the bottom line revenue of the business. Kasi that's the main driver for a business owner. Okay? Kung magagawa mo na malaman kung ano yung problema nila that has to do with increasing revenue for their business, tapos mag-position mo yung skill or yung services that you're offering such that it affects that revenue, then you stand a better chance of getting better deals and maybe probably even getting paid more. Okay? It doesn't matter kung nasa platform ka, kung nasa Facebook ka, wala na yon. Nagiging na yon. Hindi na siya masyadong malaking factor. Kasi binago mo yung positioning mo. That's a very, para sa akin, it's a very, oftentimes neglected principle natin ng mga freelancers kasi nga, unfortunately, ang orientation natin is we apply for jobs rather than look for opportunities to become service providers. So, pag service provider approach ka, oftentimes, solution, yun ang ano mo eh. Di ba? Solution providers ang tawag sa kanila. Hindi sila task doers, hindi sila skill sellers, they are solution providers. So, if you shift your mindset towards that, then ikaw, alam mo, ang laki ng opportunities for graphic designers and video editors. Kasi nga, lalo na ngayon, ang daming YouTube ads, di ba? Instagram, where it's all visual and video. Tapos, driver na siya for revenue ng maraming tao. So, ang laki, sobra.
Yeah. I'll add just tell you the opportunity. I know people who are still in school and especially graphic design, a very untapped market right now is crypto. So, blockchain, things like that. Lots of crypto projects are coming, and I know of people who are told to design an 8-bit character and they're paid $300, $400. I'm like, should I shift my skill? Yeah.
Ang daya.
Yeah. So graphic design is very hot in that industry right now because everyone wants to launch the next big NFT crypto project. So I'm just sharing that. Even if it's not there, there's opportunity everywhere. But it's only more clear if you provide solutions rather than just, hey, I'm a video editor. I can make your art the best looking art out there in the fastest way possible, or so yeah.
Ako naman ilalagay ko sa context yung combined answers nila Tito Ron tsaka ni Reynard. Speaking of platforms, 'di ba? Ang hack ko dyan is put all your profiles on all creative platforms. Kahit sa ano man yan, mga Behance, 'di ba?
Yes.
Put it all there. Huwag kang mag-outreach, pero make sure yung profiles mo is solution-based yung nakasulat. Yung profile mo, ang kinukwento mo doon is not that I am a video editor, keme, hindi ganon. Position yung sinabi ni Tito Ron, yung content ng profiles mo on anywhere is patama sa client mo na kung hindi na itong service na to is a solution to your problem. So, ikalat mo yung profile mo that this is personally what I did. Kinalat ko yung profiles ko sa lahat, pati nga daw sa Tinder, sabi ni Tito Ron. Diba? Kinalat ko lahat and then I let them find me. But before I let them find me, sinabi ko talaga doon na this is what you will get if ganyan, diba? You position it that way. So yung 50 connects mo, sige lang, easy lang, dyan lang muna siya.
Yeah.
Pero i-enhance mo lahat ng profiles mo. That way, makita nila na iba ka sa mga nasa Upwork profiles. Iba ka sa mga nasa Behance. Iba ka sa mga nasa YouTube, nasa mga, Indeed, diba? Yun ang pagtuunan mo ng time. Ihasain mo yung profile mo, yung kwento mo sa profile. This goes for everybody, every platform. Pagtuunan nyo ng time, yung pagluto ng profile ninyo. If you are a creative, put your portfolio right then and there. Para hindi na ikaw maghabol sa kanila. Sila na yung lalapit. So, yun ang ko sa mga platforms.
Yes.
Kasi essentially, that's your online business card, tama ba?
Exactly. That's
Parang
what
ganun
it is. Yep.
Yeah. That's your identity online, ika nga, kumbaga.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so nice. Actually, Edward, I'm a video editor.
Oh.
Inantay ko lang silang magsagot. Pero just to give you a background on video editing, my first client, I was able to reach my first, sagutin ko lang very quickly yung mga sagot as a video editor. I got my first client after I connected. Wala ko sa Upwork, by the way. So, when I say connect, I mean sa Facebook, sa Instagram, message, email. I got my first client maybe after my 99th outreach. So, ganon yung, that's the probability, that's the percentage we're talking about when we're talking about freelancing. So, hindi siya instant. So, you really need to, pag may tiyaga, may nalaga. So, just connect and wag kang panginahan ng loob. And then, with regards to the platforms naman, just a very straightforward answer. Sabi nga, from what I'm getting kay Kuya Ron, kay Kuya Reynard, and PTL dyan, the platform doesn't really matter kung saan ka maghahanap. What matters is what you have to offer and kung ano yung solutions na maibibigay mo sa kanila. So, ang sinasabi nga rin ni TL dyan, parang what I got from that is, ang common misconception, which I also learned as a freelancer is, kapag gumagawa tayo ng profiles, ang lagi nating iniisip at first is, paano ba nila maiintindihan yung ginagawa ko? Well, in fact, that's not how you do it. You need to shift your perspective to, paano nila malalaman na naiintindihan ko yung problema nila? So, did you get it, Edward? Na wag kang gagawa ng profile para maintindihan nila kung sino ka. Pero gumawa ka ng profile para maintindihan nila na naiintindihan mo sila, na naiintindihan mo yung problema nila. Ayun. Yes.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you. Yun.
Thank you, Edward.
Edward, you could also message me, by the way, sa Facebook.
Okay.
I'd be glad
sure.
to help out. Yeah.
Someone
Thank you.
wants to connect with Edward as well. Check the chat box, the messages
Cool.
of the chat box.
Last na natin, guys. Sorry, we're gonna try to hurry this up. Bye.
Ed.
Diba?
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you po.
Thanks, Edward.
Thank you.
Bye, are you
Last na
still
to.
there?
Hi, good
This is a
evening po.
stretch for us.
Hi, good evening po. Sa tingin ko po, narinig ko po lahat yung kailangan kong marinig. Salamat po. So, wala pa po akong definite questions kung
Okay.
regarding. Start ko lang din po kasi. So, kinig-kinig po muna kasi this is my first time to attend webinar.
Hey,
Cool.
We're happy you're here
Thank you so
inside.
much.
thanks for joining us.
Alright. Charms, anything
Oh,
else
wait.
we forgot?
Can I say something before I...
Oh, yeah, definitely. Go.
Actually, I'm just thinking since my skill probably is teaching foreign language. Would that be okay in the freelancing world?
Madami na pong gumagawa niyan in freelance.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm sure
Like,
it will be.
Like
May
Chinese?
ano nga may binabayaran ng libo-libong dolyares para magdampot ng pupo ng aso sa New York City.
Wow, di ko yun alam, Kuya Ron, ha?
Seryoso, meron.
Oh, sige.
Sige na ako New York.
Kapag
Oo, di ba?
Chinese.
May mga ganon. So again, it's all a matter of positioning your offer and finding out who needs it. Yun din. Kasi
Thank you so much.
wala namang kwenta yung skill natin if it doesn't serve a purpose for anybody.
Thank you so much po.
Okay.
That's all po.
Ayun.
Alright,
So,
grabe. Ang ganda ng
That's
session natin
everything.
tonight.
Sabi, pinagpawisan ako doon Char.
Totoo.
Parang mali yung ginawa ko, sila yung inimbita ko no?
I was checking past 9 na. Like we were still at
Oo nga
past
We're
7.
almost at 10 o'clock. Grabe to. Anyway, but we're super thankful. Mama Jan, thank you. Alam ko kahit short notice, umuo ka. Reynard, the same. I know baka busy ka, but we super appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Ang dami ko rin na pick up from you guys. Talagang this has been a super fun-filled and learning-filled session na meron tayo this evening.
Thank
Yes,
you
it
for having
has.
us. Diba?
Yes,
Biglaan.
thank you too.
Yeah, pag mga ganito biglaan, masaya no? Mga walang plano sa buhay.
Totoo yan.
Ayan, sa mga aming viewers pala, I actually checked yung page. Marami pang gustong makiat. Tapos marami ring nag-request. So, just for everyone who's still watching and who still has questions, we will be back. We will be back.
Yes.
We will be back every other Thursday. So, ang next schedule for our Tribe Tambayan is September 23. Yes, so mark your calendars. We are starting always at 8 p.m. So 8 p.m. be here, and then we could give you again agad yung link, tapos you could pila na agad sa tindahan. Chas.
Yes, wala nang patumpok-tumpok. Banatan agad yan. Put down all your questions on September 23. The sooner the better para mauna kayo dito. Makapagchikahan with us.
And in the meantime, we'll have to say goodbye to everybody, di ba?
Salamat
Ayan.
sa inyong lahat for watching.
Yes.
And catch us again Monday. Yung live interviews natin, of course. Super, ang ganda nitong guest natin darating sa Monday. She is the productivity queen ng Tribe.
Oh.
Okay, so
Lucy.
abangan nyo yan.
Nice.
Ayun. So, thank you again sa aming mga valued guests, Reynard and TL John. And thank you again
Thank
sa mga
you.
viewers. We'd like to greet you all a happy Thursday and good night.
Mama, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Kadambay.
Thank you.
Bye.